Hey guys, how are we doing today? I'm a little bit early again because, again, I have to make sure that everything is working properly. So let me know if you can hear me. I didn't even realize that today is the Oscars. Again, I'm making lives on a day where everyone's watching something else. First, it was the Super Bowl, now it's the Oscars. I live under a rock. Amazing. Thank you, Lance. I see we have a question. Um, hey guys, someone asked Hasnat, where do I lease or buy my semi trucks from? I don't lease my semi trucks. I buy them from Freightliner, Velocity Truck Centers in California. So I'm going to give it about one more minute or 2 more minutes because I did say that this live starts at 4:30 Eastern, and I'm a little bit early. Hey, friends. Derek, yes, I did. I do have that carrier course now. Absolutely. If you go to my website, you will see it there. It's under carrier course. Hey, Destiny. Hi, West LA Audit. What do you audit? Hey, Sean. Hi, Nurses. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the names. Very bad with pronunciation. Mm. Sorry, I keep having something in my throat. Jerome, any good news on the truck market? Well, I made a video this week where I was venting. I just couldn't help it. I think it was a good idea to make that video though. Brokers are definitely, to give you an idea, I'm doing this live, but I'm also keeping my eye out on the load board. I told you guys that one of my guys, a drive-in operator, he is currently in Utah. He just got unloaded, so I'm keeping my eye out, and I see there's a load posted from Utah to New York. Now that's 2,240 loaded miles, and they're paying $1,000. It's not a partial load. It's 32,500 pounds. I mean, it's insane. But in terms of good news on the market, there is one piece of good news, and that's the fact that tender rejection rates, they are continuing to, I mean, they're going up and down, but the trajectory is up. They still have a very long way to go. Sorry. They still have a very long way to go. But yeah, at least they're moving in the right direction. Benjamin, do I know much about box trucks? Unfortunately, I don't. I have never worked with box trucks, but let's take a look. Let me see. Do we have, let's see, only box trucks? It's 20, let's see, okay. I have an idea. Let's put a 26-foot box truck and for tomorrow, and let's put, I don't know, Ontario, California. I mean, there are loads. Oh, sorry, hold on. I didn't put it the feet here. Yeah, 7 exact matches, and they pay $1 per mile if you're lucky. That's what I can see for box trucks. Brian, thank you so much. I'm so happy you're enjoying it. Thank you, Narcisse. Hi, Damon. Hi, Derek. You emailed me. Did I email you back? Yesterday, I got through pretty much all emails. So let me know if you did not receive a reply from me. That means that either your email went to the wrong folder, slipped through the cracks. Let me know. Hi, Drummer. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much. Bob, what tire discount program do we use? We don't use one. We don't have a tire discount problem, which is program. It's one of those days, which probably is a problem. Did I have any trucks stuck on the 80? Yes, absolutely. The guy who just delivered in Utah, he was stuck on the I-80 for 2 days. He barely made it. And this was a Walmart delivery in Utah. So he was about an hour late. They still took him in, thank goodness. But yeah, he was stuck. And the worst part is you update the broker and tell them that, hey, he's stuck, he might be late. And they say, yeah, we'll update the receiver. And they never do. Thankfully, we weren't charged a late fee or anything. If I miss your comment, just so you guys know, I try to go through all comments. If I miss your comment, this is not because I'm ignoring you. It's because either my thing skips or sometimes comments are delayed. And by the way, if anyone wants to be a moderator, let me know. Adnan, any good news for dispatchers? What do you mean? Hi, Transport King. It was great talking to you. Still waiting for Alex to get back to me. Hi, Andre. Welcome. Hi, Mohammed. Pugnacious. Did you finance through Translease? I have never financed through Translease. I have financed with Crossroads. I have financed with BMO, which gives really high interest rates, at least in my experience, and Daimler. I like Crossroads the best. Hi, Baktang. Junior, good to see you. What type of trailer is better for team drivers? So from what I see, reefer teams. There are a lot of loads for reefer teams, and that's probably because the cargo that are reefer transports, it's perishable, so sometimes you need to deliver it quicker, but a lot of teams for reefers, yeah. Long-time YouTuber. Can you translate? But hi. Hopefully it's not something cussing me out. Oh. SOB, what exactly do I do? I have 2 trucking companies that I run. I'm a carrier. 400, did I hear about the owner operators going on strike? I did not. I heard that everyone is boycotting TQL, or a lot of people are starting to boycott TQL. I heard that. Jerome, yeah, it's right here. Wait, where is it? It was right here. Yep, it's posted for today from, let's see, from Saratoga Springs, Utah to Central Island, New York. Yep, $1,000. It's not a partial, nothing. It's crazy. Trucker Fred, what DOT drug consortium do I recommend for a new owner operator? Thank you. I recommend DISA. That's the one I use. How long does it actually take after you purchase insurance for your authority to become active? Well, there's a 21-day protest period, right? From when you apply for your authority. But after that, it takes about 3 to 4 business days. It depends on how quickly your insurance provider notifies the FMCSA that you have insurance on file. Luis, Luis, your authority is going active this week. What brokers can you work with if you have a new authority? So I believe TQL is still one of those brokers, but there are a lot of people boycotting them because they do lowball quite a bit. I call them, TQL is the queens of lowballing. Uber, I believe, is still working with new authorities. Convoy changed a lot of brokers changed their requirements because, again, there are so many carriers that they have the ability to just weed out a bunch of them, unfortunately. But TQL and Uber, from what I know, are still working with new authorities. Tim, you never received an email from me. Can you resend an email? Because I replied to everyone. Every email that I had unread, I replied to. How many, James, how many load boards do I use? My main one is the DAT Power, but I have access to the Uber load board, Coyote, JB Hunt, like the private load boards for certain brokers, TQL, but I don't use that one. Echo Drive for Echo Logistics. What else do I have? Coyote, I think I said a Coyote. Transfix, Load Smart, and that's pretty much it. Let me X out of here. Is running Amazon contracts an option for us? We have never tried. I was with our baby company. I signed up for the Amazon Relay Load Board, but when I looked at it, the prices were so bad. Even for that time, they were so much below average that I decided not to work with them. And then our insurance changed, so now I can't even work with Amazon because I believe Amazon requires a special type of insurance, either trailer interchange or something, even if you have your own trailer. I don't remember, but I have not worked with Amazon. Sorry, guys. Hi, Jose. And it skipped. Wonderful. There we go. Roberto, yes, absolutely. That, I mean, it's like 40 cents per mile. 40 cents per mile. It doesn't cost fuel. I mean, it doesn't cover fuel. It doesn't cover anything. It's crazy. It's like pay us to haul our load. You're right. Thankfully, I'm so happy to see that no one is grabbing it. Thank you, Priscilla. This real, hello, thank you. Am I Canadian? No, I'm half Ukrainian, half Georgian. Destiny, you want to know how the market, can you clarify? You want to know about the market? Adnan, what do you mean about dispatchers? Hugo, yeah, that, I mean, again, I'm not familiar with box trucks. I don't see a lot of loads for box trucks. Not very familiar. Addis G Express, is AB5 affecting us or anybody around us? It's not affecting us at the moment because we do not work with independent contractors. We only have team members, I mean, company drivers or my business partners who are shareholders in the company. So it does not affect us at the moment, but yeah, there are a lot of people who are affected by it because a lot of carriers, a big amount of carriers, they don't have their own fleet of trucks. So they rely on those independent contractors, owner operators with their own trucks and sometimes their own trailers to lease on. So yeah, absolutely. Benjamin, they're having an emergency meeting tomorrow. I need to look that up. The latest news I know about is, sorry guys, my phone is going off. Crazy. One moment. I'm sorry. This is sorry. The latest news that I've heard is about that SVB Bank and then First Republic Bank. But in terms of the Federal Reserve, I don't know anything about that. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Hi, Fugitive. Thank you. Hi, Murat. Lance. Yeah, still a discount is a discount. I really should look into it. Hi, Samar. Thomas, is buying a company's authority a good move? So that is a question. I've been getting that question a lot about buying an MC number. I'm guessing this is what you mean. So unfortunately, I am not sure. I never got a clear-cut answer on that. Some people say that you can do it. Some people say you can't do it. I spoke to an insurance, no, sorry, that was about a different thing. I was speaking to an insurance agent about getting your MC and then leasing onto someone's MC as well. But in terms of buying the MC number, I heard that some brokers will not work with you or will consider that a red flag. So I never got a clear-cut answer, unfortunately. Adnan, truckers expecting good rates from dispatchers, but market is horrible. I mean, there is, in my case, I don't have because I dispatch my own fleet, so I'm not sure. But I believe everyone is aware of the market at the moment. But yeah, sometimes there is a little bit of a disconnect, I guess. I'm sorry, guys. One moment. Never stop working. Hi, Alex. Alex. Hi, new Mike. Glad to have you here. Hi, Jason. Maria, detention pay. So, detention pay is something that carriers should set, but more often than not, in the rate confirmation of the broker, you will see what their detention rate is. And it's usually after 2 or 3 hours and a certain rate, depending on your equipment type. Sometimes it changes depending on whether you have a reefer or a dry van. Now, the worst part is that you might follow everything that you're supposed to follow. You might notify the broker that you're accruing detention or that detention has started. You might get those in and out times, and they will still not pay you. It's the most frustrating thing. West LA audit. So you want to be a moderator. Let me make you a moderator. How do I do that? There we go. This reel, is it worth keeping multiple trailers for one tractor and swap if loads are better for reefer versus flatbed and vice versa? So that is an interesting question. If you're not, I mean, if you have payments on all those trailers and you're not using them, sometimes it's kind of difficult. What we do is for one of our trucks, we rent the trailer and we switch it out that way. So we were on flatbed, then we got stuck on the West Coast and we decided to change to dry van. And now at this point, I mean, at this point, dry van is struggling quite a bit. So I'm starting to think that maybe in around April, we're going to switch back to flatbed. Wet Willie, absolutely. You have to build those good relationships. That's something that I haven't done with direct shippers, unfortunately. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. Adnan, can you buy an MC without having a truck? You can get an MC, but you will not be able to activate it without a truck and a CDL or without a driver who has a CDL. Blaster, please do your let's go. Ready? Let's go. SOB Enterprises. Have I heard anything about TQL getting boycotted? Yes, I have. I have. I've been getting, after I released that broker video, I've been getting a ton of emails and comments about TQL getting boycotted. And I haven't worked with them since that video either. Although I do have to admit, right now, and I'm looking from Portland, I have another truck in Portland for tomorrow. They have, I mean, it's a horrible rate. It's still less than $2 per mile, but it's by far the highest rate currently on the board in terms of rate per mile. So I wonder if they're starting to figure out that they're getting boycotted. Transport King. Yeah, JB, I heard that JB Hunt changed to a year. A year, or is it 6 months? Aaron, I am based out of Kentucky, working on setting up a company that I wanted to keep intrastate, but finding a lot of loads in Tennessee. Is that option to get, okay, authority in 2 states, that would still be interstate authority. As soon as you are hauling past your state lines, it's interstate. West LA, yep, I gotcha. You're the moderator now. Oh man, it skipped. Where was I? Okay, gotcha. New Mike, do I happen to know the minimum insurance requirements just to open DOT and MC? Some brokers require a minimum 6 months of active DOT and MC in order to work with them. So the minimum requirements, if you have like a semi truck regular, like interstate authority, the FMCSA requires a minimum of $750,000 in liability insurance. Brokers, once you start working with brokers, they will require $1 million in liability insurance and $100,000 in cargo insurance. Some brokers, for some loads, require $250,000 cargo, but that's pretty rare, and they do pay better for those loads. Mhm. Big Rig Ed, do I think it's profitable to run local loads through brokers? It depends where you are. It used to be very profitable about a month and a half ago to run local loads or short loads. I'll call them short loads in the Midwest, especially like for dry vans and reefers. But dry vans, you could easily make gross $1,000 a day or more and make over $3 per mile. Currently, I don't see a market where short loads pay well. They always pay better than long loads in terms of rate per mile, but that gross income a day is very low. Let's see. Hi, Alexi. Can you check cross-border flat deck loads? What do you mean? Mohammed, do you think now is the right time to become a new owner operator? So I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I release those monthly performance videos where I use my own company numbers. If you're running for yourself and if you are doing everything, or you have a family member who is dispatching you and doing back office, you can make money. It's not going to be anywhere near what it was in 2021, where we made once off of one truck, I believe it was over $30,000 net, but you can make $10,000, $12,000 if you keep running. Of course, it's a lot of work. It's not as efficient as it was in 2021, for example, or even the beginning of 2022. You can make money. Is it a right time to become a new owner operator? There are some things you have to consider, and that's the fact that you do have to have a good safety net. You do have to. I was going to say something and I lost my train of thought. You do have to have a good safety net, and you do have to remember that brokers, they are changing their requirements. So you will find brokers who work with a new authority. The issue is trying to sift through the ones who don't. But again, the biggest issue right now, the rates are bad. Brokers are taking way too much off the top. However, sorry. However, yeah, brokers are taking way too much off the top. And I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. Today is a crazy day. I'm getting text messages. It's insane. If I remember it, I'll tell you. Marie, thank you so much for being. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Car hauling, dispatching. I have never worked with car haulers, so I'm not very familiar with that side of the industry. I have worked with semi trucks, dry vans, flatbeds, and reefers. My specialty is in reefers, but it's becoming in dry vans as well. Flatbeds, I'm still raw in that sense. The fourth quarter should be better. They're saying that at the end of quarter two, it's going to start. They're saying the produce season is going to improve the market. But what we really, I mean, again, as I say in my videos, there are two things that are happening, right? There is the overcapacity of trucks, and the lack of volume in comparison to the amount of trucks. So one of two things have to happen. Either volumes increase, which they will once produce season starts, hopefully, or capacity has to leave, which it is. It's leaving, but it's leaving very, very slowly. Everyone is holding on for dear life. Hey guys. Trucking with Frank, what are your opinions? It seems that owner ops who are leased on versus having their own authority are not suffering versus owner operators with their own authority. I don't know about that. I think everyone in this industry is suffering. I think everybody, including company drivers, because all of a sudden it's no longer profitable to get those very long loads. So company drivers are also not getting their miles. I think this industry is making everyone suffer at the moment. Alexi, how to survive in this cruel world. When you figure it out, let me know. Mm. When deciding on where you want your next load to land, would you say that tender rejection rates are generally a more significant factor than load volumes? I know you look at both. I think tender rejections are the things that are going to tell you which way the rates are going to go. Load volumes, they're a good indicator as well, but they don't take into consideration the amount of trucks, right? So for example, if there are 100 loads, but there are 250 trucks in the area, the rates are not going to go anywhere. So I would say tender rejections is something that I focus on more. Mhm. Christian, you just did this and it's a fun experience. What'd you do? Hi, Mohammed. Randa, I want to run a reefer or a dry van, I'm guessing you're saying. Yeah, so reefers pay better right now. The reefers pay better, but they also cost more, right? The cost of a reefer is higher because of the reefer fuel and etc. Hi, James. Hi, Samba. Christian, when buying someone else's authority, make sure when you do make sure you follow FMCSA guidelines. Ah, gotcha. Never stop working. True. Yay, Prestige. I'm so glad. At least someone says that I responded to their email. I responded to all emails yesterday. 4 hours worth of email. I was a little bit late, I do admit. The only way that buying an MC is a good idea is that carrier has its own freighter contracts. It does not make sense. See? There we go. I love hearing those things because I never could get a clear answer on that. Benjamin, what's home base for you? Southern California, the best place for trucking. And I can't even say the weather is good anymore. It's horrible. Cal, how do you find loadout trailers? I have never. What do you mean loadout trailers? I'm guessing that's power only. I've never worked with power only. Sean, so you started in this industry, totally no experience. Yeah, I was a fashion recruiter before. So yeah, no experience whatsoever. Again, as I said in one of my lives, when I started, I thought that a semi truck and a semi trailer came that way. Like when you bought them, they came together and they didn't attach. I was pretty clueless. What about the rate in USA to Canada, Ontario? I have never booked loads to Canada or anywhere outside of the US, so I'm not 100% sure about that. I did see that rates to Alaska are really good, but I haven't booked those either. Sandu, first time in my life, got stuck in Detroit for Friday, sent my driver to Pennsylvania for a Saturday load. Yeah, it's crazy. What kind of, was it a dry van or a reefer flatbed? It's insane. The Midwest really disappointed me over the past 2 weeks because that was my strategy before. Get my dry, at least for the dry vans, get my dry vans to the Midwest, and that's where we make our money. And all of a sudden, it disappears. Artyom, hi from Ukraine. Hi, I'm originally from Mariupol. That's where I was born, Mariupol. Thank you for your let's go. It became a tradition. I don't even remember how I came up with that. Can you run only on spot market? That's what we do. Is it the best way, especially in a market like today's market? No, absolutely not, because the spot market is the leftovers, right? It's basically contract loads that no one wanted. That's what the spot market is. So, but yeah, I only run the spot market. Oof. Yee or G, thank you so much. You sent an email earlier, working overseas and back at the end of next week. Did I respond to your email? If not, could you please send it again? I responded to everyone, but sometimes they fall through the crack. Thank you. And I lost my place. There we go. I found it. Would you hire a team owner operator for reefer this summer? What is your company name? I do not share my company's names because there are a lot of you guys, and while we have a beautiful community, I never know who might be watching. In terms of hiring a team owner operator for reefer, I cannot lease on. I cannot hire owner operators or lease on owner operators because of the AB5 law, unfortunately. Andre, I saw your video where you were venting about brokers. Yeah, I don't know if, I mean, I'm happy I made it because I saw how much people were hurting. The amount of views and the amount of comments, it's unusual for my channel. So it showed me that people are hurting. I don't know. Yeah. How feasible would it be to create an owner operator controlled brokerage association, not for profit, that pays operators a fair rate? So, creating a brokerage, owner operators, I'm guessing you're talking about those without an MC. A carrier, if they create a brokerage as well, a lot of insurance companies will not work with you. So, I don't know how, I mean, it's possible. Is it something that people will do? I don't think so. I think what we need is a broker 411, which on my, you know how I created that social media website, which is kind of like Facebook or LinkedIn, but only for our industry, TMS Connections. I did create a group there, Broker 411, where I post the brokers that I'm not going to work with. I post the stories, and I hope that other members start posting there as well. Marie, by the way, I'm Georgian, so happy to see the fellow Earthling being this. Thank you, Marie. And Gamat Joba. That's all I know in Georgian. Marco, do you think it's a good time to buy a truck and start working? Truck prices are still a little bit high. Not a little bit, they are high. I do, as I said before, I do release those monthly performance videos. And if you are a one-man show or have a family member dispatching you and doing back office, there is a way to make money here. Is it as efficient as in 2021? Absolutely not. In 2021, as I said before, we made over 30,000 net at one point, maybe more, maybe more on one truck. This was on one truck. Now, 10,000, 12,000. This is what you make off a truck if you're working for yourself. The moment you start hiring drivers, you're either working for cost or for a tiny little profit. Some people work for loss. I know there is one gentleman on YouTube. He has some of his team members bringing him a loss. Yeah. Lucas, what is the better load board, truck stop or DAT power? From what I know, DAT is the load board that is the most popular one. So pretty much all loads on the spot market go there. But Truck Stop, from what I know, is better for those open trailers, flat beds, step decks, and so on. Best advice for someone trying to start up: have a good safety net, a very good safety net. Hi, Captain John. What trailer is the best for Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama? I know that a lot of chicken comes out. I would say reefer at the moment. Although maybe also flatbed, but I am not 100% sure. Maria, do you set up detention pay before confirming a load, or after receiving rate confirmation if detention pay is not stated there? If the detention pay is not stated in the rate confirmation, I set my own detention pay. But I mean, it was always like this. More often than not, a broker will find a way not to pay detention or layover. And the worst part, if you file against the broker's bond, they are not going to pay detention or layover. So it's kind of a your hands are tied situation. Christian, you run local in PA, running PA, New Jersey, and New York, grossing between 4 and 6K a week. Yeah, so from what I saw a few weeks ago, the East Coast is really good. I mean, there's a really good rate per mile for short loads. The gross, I'm not sure. The last time we were in PA, my van was in PA, and another time my other van was next to Pennsylvania and Delaware. It was a mess. I could not find a load. And then, oh my God, I wanted to tell you guys that story. So my guy was in Delaware. I found a load that was, I mean, it was a horrible load by Uber. I grabbed that load. I have the rate confirmation. My guy is on the way to the shipper. All of a sudden, I get an email from Uber that they're reprimanding me for canceling this load late. I didn't cancel it. I called them, and it was really hard to find any load. So I called them. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And they tell me we sold it to another carrier and reprimanded me for canceling this load. We got Tono, but just to give you an idea of what brokers are doing right now. Sasha, please help me. My name is Alex, and I'm working 2 years on dispatch company. How to pay for DAT and Truck Stop. There is a way to get the DAT load board if you're a dispatcher, if you don't have an MC. If you want to email me, talkabouttrucking@gmail.com. I'm happy to send you the link of how you can sign up with the DAT. I'm not as familiar with Truck Stop without having an MC number. USA to Canada rate. I have no idea. I have never booked loads from USA to Canada. Christian, dry van. In Pennsylvania, dry van 4 to 6. Wow, that's actually not bad. I have to say. Yeah, I had a very hard time in Delaware and Pennsylvania. Gee, I did not see. I might have seen your email. I might have not. If I didn't reply, that means I didn't see it, because I replied to all the emails yesterday. So if you want to resend it to me, I'd be happy to take a look. Are the rates going to get better anytime soon? That's a great question. They should. The tender rejection rates, which are indicative of which way the spot rates will move, they are on their way up. Very, very slowly with ups and downs, but the trajectory is up, indicating that rates will get better. The produce, by how much better, I am not sure, because the current tender rejection rate is still less than 4%, which means out of all contract loads, only 4%, or actually 3-point-something% are getting rejected and sent to the spot market. Produce season might kickstart the rates a little bit. The scary part, or the uncertain part, is a lot of people parked their trucks waiting for those better rates. So if the rates start getting better, will those people who park their trucks flood the market and there will be an overcapacity? That's the question. Danny, thank you. Hi, Colorado Springs. Oh, Colorado is beautiful. Benjamin, what happened to all the money these companies had in 2021? Shouldn't it be relatively the same if it's consistently loads they run weekly? I didn't fully understand, but in terms of should money be the same? No, because rates went down and prices of everything went up, including fuel. Yeah. JP, can we rely 100% on the spot market as a new MC? I did for both my companies. Currently, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than when I started because brokers are changing their terms. But I do encourage you, even though I haven't done it, but I do encourage people to start building those relationships with direct shippers. I have worked with direct shippers by accident. I came across their loads on the load board. They pay way better and they are a pleasure to work with. They don't annoy you with check calls. You know, they trust the carrier to know what they're doing. I like direct shippers. New Mike TV. If I could use your bookkeeping services just once. Um, So bookkeeping services, do you mean back office services or bookkeeping like accounting? Because accounting, I do keep the books like income, expenses, and everything, but accounting is not my strong suit. I'm a CPA for that. But if you want to, if it's something with registrations, I don't offer that service. But if you have a question, send me an email, talkabouttrucking@gmail.com. Happy to take a look. Just out trying to not become another statistic, Raymond. Danny, opportunity. Opportunity. Uh, Mohammed, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Transport King, absolutely. I would love to make you a moderator. There we go. Yeah, it is lagging. That's true. So for me, what I'm doing live right now, you're going to only see in about 30 seconds or so. I don't know why it's lagging like this. So again, I'm trying to get through all the comments. Are you required to factor every load when working with RTS? We do not. You're not required to. However, if you start factoring less than the minimum amount, they start charging you a higher percentage. The minimum amount, I believe, is 10,000 a month. But I do not factor every load. I use factoring only when I feel like I like to have a certain amount in the operating account. So when I feel like that amount is decreasing because brokers are not paying on time, I'll factor. Is getting into dispatching good right now? Dispatching, it doesn't pay the same as it did in 2021. However, this is, if you are a good dispatcher, you can be a really good help to an owner operator or a small carrier. Finding loads takes so much time today. Again, the way the market is makes it inefficient. The work is inefficient. It can take me, I don't know, the whole day to find one load sometimes. So a good dispatcher can be a really good asset to a carrier if they know what they're doing. Yeah. I have more focus on your quotations you mentioned in your posts. Are a lot of owner operators going out of business? Yeah, yeah. As I said before, we know, I mean, small carriers, big carriers, that, what is that company? FreightWorks in North Carolina, they just shut their doors. 140 plus drivers, I believe 200 power units out. Everyone is struggling right now. Can you only dispatch for one carrier? You could. You could, absolutely. Boldface. We have to get rid of the middlemen like the brokers to allow for more profit. I mean, currently I'm on the same page. I do have to say though, not all brokers. I kept mentioning this guy in under that broker video I made, R. Letson Trucking Company LLC, diamond of a broker, incredible. He's incredible. I wish more brokers were like him because brokers, I mean, they find the clients so that we don't have to cold call. But when they start taking 50 to 100 to more percent off the top, then it becomes a problem. And it's extremely short-sighted because brokers rely on carriers. And if carriers start going out of business, at one point the market will turn, and then what? And I lost my place. Oh, it skipped again. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Skipped quite a bit. Oh, someone said, Cisco Guru, the West Coast finally received the water they so desperately needed to grow produce. I don't think, you know what? I asked my husband a few days ago, I'm like, is California even preserving the water? And he's like, no, it's too expensive to preserve it. It's crazy. Or collect it. It's crazy. This state is insane. But yeah, you would think that, okay, it rained enough, produce should be growing. Andy, you're so welcome. Thank you for watching. Alexander, what do I think about freight brokerage? Is it a good way to start in the transportation industry? I think, I mean, I have never been a freight broker. I think brokers are also in a tight position right now because there are a ton of brokers competing with them, right? When 2021 happened, it's not just carriers who flooded the market, it's also new brokers. That's why right now, when you look on the load board, there are a ton of those new MC brokers with no factoring. Some of them are double brokers, and they're all competing for that one load, one client. So I'm not sure. I think in general, the market is oversaturated. So yeah. Last week was bad. Average 270 on a flatbed. Yeah, for flatbed, that's low. I need a reputable dispatcher, or should I dispatch myself? Any suggestion? Guys, if there are dispatchers here who know how to navigate the current market, Cal is looking for a dispatcher. Boundless. I think I answered your question. Can you dispatch for only one carrier? Yes, absolutely. Salam. What do I think the market may in Georgia? What do you mean? Georgia is, I don't see a lot of good outbound loads there. I try to stay away from Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. So I try to stay from the southeast or east coast. Jazzy, do I use a heat map? Where can I access one for free? I don't use a heat. I used to use a heat map. It comes with a DAT power subscription. I don't know where you could access one for free though. At the moment, what I use is Sonar. It's a subscription through the FreightWaves Sonar system. Shaga, how often do you see your drivers face to face in general? Once, once, twice. Yeah. When I meet them at the truck is when I see them, and then it's all phone conversation from there. Not often that there's face to face. Fresh start. Do I recommend getting a dry van or a reefer? Well, someone asked me this via email. What is better? Dry vans are more efficient in terms of loading and unloading times. They're also cheaper to run. However, the rate per mile for dry vans is horrific right now, and it's usually lower. Reefer is less efficient, long loading, long unloading times. It's expensive to run because of the reefer fuel, but the rates are higher. So yeah, if I could choose between, I'll be honest, if I could, looking at the market right now, if I could choose between dry van and a reefer, I would have all reefers just because the prices are better for a reefer. But I know that dry van is more efficient. Transport king, always dispatch self, never pay somebody else to. It's a good, I mean, again, a good dispatcher can be an asset, but in the current market, if you're looking to save money, yeah, dispatching yourself or getting a family member to do it is a good idea. Dominique, is there anyone, hi, is there anyone who helps you get DOT number and LLC in Texas? I'm trying to start a dumpster rental business. I am not 100% sure about that side of the industry. Still, erase, would you explain how to spot double brokering? The way I learned to spot it is number one, a lot of newer brokers double broker. Not all of them, but a lot of newer ones. How do you figure out a newer broker on the DAT? Well, DAT started for newer MCs. The brokerage name or the carrier name is in all capitals. The second thing you have to look out for is if it's a new MC, but they already have 25-star reviews, which is, I mean, it's abnormal. But no factoring, yeah, this is something I learned. This is probably a double broker. A lot of double brokers use, I think it's called rigs to set up carriers. This is how I spot them. Cali, Oregon, Washington are bad. Yeah, they're bad. I'm not sure what to do with my two dry vans. One is in Utah, core in Utah. One will be in Portland, Oregon tomorrow. So I'm not 100% sure what to do. I'm guessing if I want a good rate per mile, I'll have to do West Coast to West Coast. And then there's the fuel issue because the West Coast has by far the highest fuel prices, diesel prices. So yeah. Calvin, when is the market going back up? Probably somewhere in April. It should, at the end of March, start picking a little bit up because of produce. And then it should have a domino effect because produce is usually reefer loads, right? So reefers are going to start seeing a little bit higher rates. And then as more reefers start focusing on the produce, as more dry vans start focusing on the dry products related to produce, then there are usually what happens is there is a lack of equipment focusing on other things like paper products and frozen food, I don't know, stuff like that. So that's when all shippers start hiking their rates up. This is what usually happens. And I'm hoping this is something that happens again. Cal, your authority is new. It's okay, you'll get through it. You just have to sift through the brokers that are being too picky. TQL, Uber, I know everyone's boycotting TQL, but yeah, sometimes, yeah. Fresh start, I answered your question. If it was me, I would do a reefer, but dry van is more efficient. Bob Quinton, yes, that is true. Cheaper insurance. When you are a new MC, your insurance will be higher, and the fuel card they provide is also good usually. Dalze 22, yes, I also heard that truck stop is better for flatbeds. Dwayne, drug and alcohol clearing. Oh, you mean drug and alcohol consortium? We use DISA. How do you sign up? You go to DISA.com, DISA, DISA.com, and they will have a contact us or tab there, so you call them. In terms of ELD, we use Motive, which was formerly known as Keep Truckin'. At your studio. Good luck, guys, in this crazy industry. Today is my last day on the road. Going home. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. It always makes me so sad to see carriers shutting their door. It's horrible. Today, one of my guys sent me a TikTok of an owner operator who recorded his conversation with TQL, where TQL was offering a 3-stopper load. It was 695 miles for $700 or something. And the owner operator is being so patient, trying to explain to him that, listen, I'm making $11 on this load. This is all I'm making. And this TQL guy, he does not understand. He can't get it in his head. Yeah, there's such a disconnect currently between brokers and carriers. And a lot of these brokers, they're young kids. They're young kids. This guy was born in 1994, this broker. He's a kid. They don't fully understand, unfortunately. Josa, have you talked to the Mother Trucker show? Yes, I emailed Alex already, so I'm waiting to hear back from him. Don Whedon, enjoy your channel. Thank you. How many trucks do you run currently? We have 4 with 2 on their way, but we're keeping at a fleet of 5. So once the 2 come, one of our old junkers is out. I can't wait for that day. That old truck, I mean, it's a 2018, but it's eating away at the bottom line. What motivated me to enter the business? My family kind of made me do it. We didn't know anything about this industry, and they had the idea of opening a trucking company, and they asked me to do it. So I had to learn. Never thought I would be in this industry, and never thought I would fall this much in love with it. I do love it, regardless of the market. Eddie, Miranda, if I want to lease onto a company with my own truck, but I live in California, does the AB5 law still affect me? I am not sure. I think so. If you live in California, I don't know if the independent contractor gets in as much trouble as the person who is leasing them on. That I'm not sure about. But I believe that you are still, I mean, for that carrier, they could be held liable because you are from California. But check with an attorney. Scopelitis is a very well-known law firm for the trucking industry, and they sometimes have free consultations. I've talked to them several times, and the last time I tried to reach out to them about the AB5 law to figure out what does this mean for out-of-state owner-operators trying to lease onto a California carrier. They never replied, unfortunately, but I tried to reach out to them. Scopelitis. Saphir, what TMS do you use? I created my own using Airtable. Music City Transport. I love this. I love that. If that's the name of your company, Music City Transport, I love it. And I lost your question. What happened? I think what did you ask? Let's see. There we go. I don't think enough small carriers realize the numbers shippers are paying. Great insights. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, shippers are, I mean, a lot of us, we don't know exactly what shippers are paying, but from the USDA website, it does show you what shippers are paying for a one pick, one drop spot rate. And this is for produce loads. And they're paying like, they're paying a fair amount of money. It's just the brokers are taking too much into their pocket. Sasha, how to pay for DAT and truck stop from Ukraine. Email me, talkabouttrucking@gmail.com, and I can send you the link of how to sign up with them. Ivan or Yvonne. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. Thanks for responding to my email. Yay! I'm so glad I got to someone. So many people are saying they haven't received a response from me, and so I'm like, who did I not respond to? When you set your own detention rate, how is it communicated to the broker? Do you receive a revised rate con? You should receive a revised rate con. And usually you tell the broker, detention is starting, this is what I charge. But in order to get, realistically, in order to guarantee payment from the broker has to send you a revised rate con with that detention charge added. Unfortunately, sometimes they do not do that. Saphir answered your question. I created my own TMS, Airtable. Am I planning on staying on the spot market? At the moment, yes. Am I planning to start building a relationship with direct shippers? Also, yes. But it's going to take me time. I'm one person running two trucking companies. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm kind of limited on time. Yeah. What is the deal with the guy in New York talking about boycotting a broker a week? That's a great idea. I think you're talking, I don't know who started that, but I think you're talking about boycotting TQL. Everyone is trying to start with one broker, just don't haul loads from that one broker so that they can learn their lesson. And from what I heard, we're starting with TQL. It's all a house of cards as always. Yeah. Daron. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. We keep like chatting in the comments. Shippers are also squeezing the brokers to some degree. From what I know, yeah, that's probably true as well. But from what I know, because of the amount of brokers in the market currently, there's an oversaturation of those as well. They're trying to outbid each other, trying to get that one load from the shipper. Continental hauling rates are not going back up until election year. I hope you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong. Lyle, what are your thoughts on flatbed loads, broker loads, going to get worse or better? Flatbeds is something that I don't currently run. Historically speaking, they should get a little bit better because the weather is going to start improving. So construction is going to resume, albeit the construction industry is not where it used to be. Building permits are not being obtained the same way as they were, but flatbed rates should start going up a little bit once the weather gets better. What's going on with the rates? When are they going to go up? By far the most frequently asked question, what is happening with the rates? Yeah, I mean, we can blame brokers all day long, right? We can say that brokers are taking too much off the top. It's not, how do I explain this? I don't blame the brokers for trying to make money. They're in business. I'm gonna get so much hate for this. They're in business to make money, right? No matter what we think, whether they're useless or not useless, they're in business to make money. The problem is that they're taking so much off the top that they're running carriers out of business. But the reason they're able to take so much off the top is because there are too many trucks in the market. Yeah. Am I pissed off at brokers? Absolutely. I mean, seeing that load for $1,000 to New York, 2,000 plus miles, 44 cents per mile, it's insulting. You're paying the broker to haul a load. It's crazy. Is it bad business and short-sighted? Yeah, those brokers that, and I mean, again, like I said before, the lack of professionalism. I've had a broker tell me that I think I told you guys I canceled the load because the reefer broke down. So the broker called me full of, I figured you were Polish. I'm like, seriously? Yeah. I had a broker admit, Uber admitted that they resold the load to another carrier while my guy was on the way to pick it up. How does that happen? It's just, it's a mess. And of course, I just lost my space. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Are they going to go up in terms of rates? They should. They should. The capacity is being driven out. So the capacity is going away slowly. Volume should start increasing a little bit with the produce season coming up. So they should start going up, and the tender rejections are on their way up. Are they low? Yeah, absolutely, they're low. We can't expect crazy rates right now, but they're going in the right direction. Fugitive. What will be my prediction for the next couple of weeks? At this point, honestly, I I have no idea. I go by the data. I have no predictions at this point because the market, it is predictably unpredictable. Thank you, dreaming on a budget. I love this channel. So, someone asked if they can, is there a place to donate or something? And I explained that this channel, it's my hobby. This is not my job. It's my hobby. I really think it's important for everyone to be able to have this information. Because I remember when I was starting out, I was so lost. And it's really lonely sometimes to be that lost. On one hand, it's a pretty relatively easy industry to get into, but it's confusing. So I love this channel. I like providing knowledge to the best of my ability, at least. Vardan, thank you. Do I know? Oh my goodness, there we go. Do I know where are located most of trucks? What states? From last week, I saw there were a ton of them in the Rockies. A lot of trucks moved to the Rockies, Idaho, Utah, and some to the south. Thank you, Joe, and say what? Here you go, just because. I appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Our favorite dispatcher. Hi. Let's see. Where was I? Mm, 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 mm. I lost my space or place. Guys, if I missed any of your comments, now that I'm scrolling up, looking, trying to find my place, I realized that there are a lot of comments that didn't show up in the moment. So I am so sorry if I missed your comment. I am trying to answer every single one. Wowzers. Okay, unfortunately I lost my place. So um what is the name of the broker that is a diamond again, please? Will he take new authority less than 2 months? That Fat Mike, that I'm not sure about. His name is R. Letson Trucking Co. LLC, and he's based out of Georgia. Diamond, he's an independent broker. He's old school. He doesn't like emails. He likes chatting over the phone. If I could work with him again, I haven't seen a load by him in a while, but I know he's in business. I checked. So if I could work with him again, if I could work only with him, I would. There are a couple of brokers like that. But the big guys like TQL, Longship, wow. I mean, Longship, I try not to call out brokers, but Longship, the lack of manners, those are frat boys there. I swear. Those are frat boys that, I mean, they forgot what it means to be in business, to be professional. Yikes. I was so disappointed. We all got to thug it out. Calvin McDougall, is hauling fuel paying? I'm not sure. I have not worked. I mean, my guys haven't hauled fuel, so I'm not sure. I know hazmat loads pay better. I think if owner operators would just refuse low rates for a week, it would change the way they're messing around. Absolutely. The issue is that the newer guys who have those insane truck payments because they bought their trucks at the height, they are going to just take whatever they can get. TQL, yeah. I got $2 per mile from Oregon to Maryland, 3 picks, 3 drops, harvest load. It's so low. It's crazy. Would you recommend running only reefers and using for dry van loads when reefer loads die? So that is a question that I get a lot. Can you haul dry van loads on a reefer? You can some, but not others, because a reefer, number one, the reefer itself, that trailer is heavier because of that unit, that reefer unit. So it can't haul as much weight. And number two, because of the insulation to keep the temperature within the trailer, the inside of the trailer is smaller. So you can't haul all types of dry van loads. Uber is also lowballing. Uber, $1.20 per mile. It's crazy. Uber is definitely Uber, JB Hunt, Coyote. Who else? Uber, JB Hunt, Coyote, LoadSmart. Their rates are below the already low average for sure. C.H. Robinson. I have never worked with C.H. Robinson. I said that in one of my first videos that I have never worked with C.H. Robinson and I never will because they refuse to negotiate. I do not work well with people who tell me it's my way or the highway, which is happening a lot currently. Reefers can be very stressful. Yeah. The repairs for sure, the noise. And of course, there's more of a risk with a reefer, right? There's a little bit more risk with a reefer because if it breaks down on you and you don't get it repaired in time and the product inside spoils, there we go, there is a claim. What is the best factoring company, Mohammed? We use RTS. I really, really like them. Oh, Transport King, you're from Fort Worth, Texas. I didn't know that. Lucky. Yeah, someone a few days, not a few days ago, a week ago, someone reprimanded me for saying that I love Texas and saying that I love Elon Musk. And they assumed so many things about me just from those two comments. It's crazy. But I do love Texas. Never been, but absolutely love it. And I adore Elon Musk just because of the way he the biggest reason is because of the way he saved his two companies, the risk he took. That kind of bravery is something that I aspire to. The general trucker, I refused loads for 2 months. Yeah. For those who don't have a ton of truck payments or their fixed expenses are not very high, it's more reasonable to refuse loads. But I can understand those that like, for example, our truck payments and trailer payments, we refuse loads. There is absolutely for 2 months. I mean, you can refuse for a couple of days, not hauling bad rates, but After a while, those fixed expenses, they keep eating, especially if you have a lot of trucks financed or leased or whatnot. Yeah, becomes harder. Sunny, would it be possible if you could do a short tutorial on how to run query and Dewey? Can you, I did not fully understand the question. Can you clarify for me, please? World of Logistics, absolutely. The brokers in TQL, Longship, who else? Coyote. I mean, they're kids. They're kids. I am pretty young. They're younger than me. I consider myself pretty young. And those are, I mean, they're children. Mario, what is your opinion? Would I be better off staying as a leased on operator and paying 10% or getting my own MC and self dispatching? If you're paying 10%, the question is how much are you paying for insurance? Right? Because when you get your own MC, the insurance cost might go up. But then again, I mean, it's more freedom. There's potentially more reward if you know the market very well. And once the market gets better, it's better, of course, to get your own MC, in my opinion. I appreciate freedom. I appreciate learning by market areas and just working that way. But if you're leased on, the question is, again, how much are you paying for insurance? How much are you getting discounts on your fleet card, et cetera, et cetera. Love Bug Mo. Wow, a kid? What about a kid? These millennials have ruined every industry, literally. Mm. Do you pull hazmat? No, we do not. Noob. I was born in 1998. Got to go out on my own. You're a baby noob. In the best way possible. I don't mean it as an insult at all. I remember when I was working in recruiting, everyone was about a year or two older than me, and they used to call me, "You're a baby, you're still a baby," and it would piss me off so much. I was like, "I'm a grown woman. What are you talking about?" You're so young, though. But that's amazing. You're going to be an owner operator, one car hauler. Good luck. Yeah. What is the best trucking management software for new carriers with 2 to 5 trucks? Again, I do not use a TMS. I built my own through Airtable. I found that no TMS does exactly what I needed to do. So I made my own. Wish my family gave me that opportunity. Hot shotters. Oh, I don't know much about hot shot. My best friend used to dispatch a hot shot, but I never figured. I mean, I never learned anything about hot shots. What are my thoughts on Amazon? Amazon, again, I have never worked with them. I have signed up with our baby company when we just started, and I saw that the rates were so low that I never worked with them. Mehmet Uzun, thank you so much. Thank you. Hi. I appreciate it. Hot shots. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Yeah, my thing skips. Okay, do you pull hazmat? I saw that. Hot shotters. Okay. Amazon, Samsara, Best ELD service. Really, I never used them. Always was with Keep Trucking Motive. Amazon sucks. Their rates were really bad when I looked at them last. Um, Nicola, based on what I saw on the board last week, I'm terrified to come back to work. You know what, Nicola, I'm in the same boat. I am terrified of tomorrow. I have my load board open right here. I'm trying to keep an eye out to see if there's a load I can grab, maybe a higher paying load for now. I'm also terrified. When do I think how long it will last like this? It should start getting better very, very slowly, but it should start getting better with produce season, the weather changing. But realistically, for it to really change, we need that capacity out. And unfortunately, that means more and more carriers have to shut their doors, which is horrible. It's horrible. Can you talk about the 2018 truck model and what mileage it started being too much? Yeah, absolutely. So the 2018 Freightliner, new Cascadia, the moment we hit 500,000 miles on that piece of garbage, it started falling apart. We changed the compressor, I think 3 times in the last month and a half. We had to change the transmission, which cost us an arm and a leg, like 30 grand. It's crazy. That truck, and it dies every time you're in cold weather. The moment, I believe it's -20. No, sorry, not -20. The moment you hit 20 degrees Fahrenheit, it starts shutting down. It's crazy. You have to love the trucking business. I do. It pisses me off, of course, especially right now, these rates and everything. It pisses me off, but I love this industry. If someone were to ask me why, I can't explain. It's just something I feel like I was meant to do. Maybe because I finally figured it out. I'm thinking to start as an owner operator. Should I contract in the company or find my own loads? I live in PA. So it depends. If you're thinking to start, how old is your CDL? If you're completely brand new, you have to consider the fact that on one hand, brand new in the industry, I mean, including the CDL. On one hand, I would recommend learning a little bit about the industry before going into this kind of market. But on the other hand, if you learn it, of course, the earning potential is more. But insurance, this is the one big thing. If you lease on, the insurance you pay through that carrier is less than if you are brand new in this industry and getting your own insurance for the first time. Most companies won't hire California drivers, let alone owner operators. There we go. Yeah, this AB5 law is crazy. Salvador. Hi. What do I think about hotshot divisions? I've never worked with hotshot, so I'm not sure. My friend who used to dispatch a hotshot, she is no longer in this industry. She left on her own accord. So this is something I would want to talk to her. Maybe the next time I meet up with her, I'll ask her so that we can compare what it's like, but I'm not sure. Would you hedge where you put 1 or 2 units leased onto a major carrier and then remainder to a spot market? Something happened. What happened? Oh, AJ Franklin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Would it be a great idea to get into dispatching? And what's a good percentage rate for a starting point to truckers? Plus, what's a good load from brokers money-wise? Dispatching is something, Being a dispatcher can be a really good asset to an owner operator or carrier. Thank you, Truckers Education Network. I appreciate it. AJ, so being I mean, it could be a dispatcher could be an asset to a carrier. In terms of a good percentage rate, I mean, I am not sure exactly what's a good percentage rate, but I think that, I mean, there's a lot of competition. I think a flat rate would gain you more clients. But at the same time, getting paid a percentage of the load, it shows that, I mean, you have to be motivated to book better loads so that you get paid more, right? If that makes sense. What's a good load from brokers? It depends. $3 per mile is where it should be. It should be, considering the fuel prices. Currently, it depends on where the trucks are, right? Do you want me to contact Alex from Mother Trucker so you could do an interview? That would be a good show. I contacted him, but if you could kind of, I know Transport King contacted him as well, but if you could just put in a word to reply to me, please, because I'm trying to figure out what to do about the situation with brokers and how we can, you know, shake up the market a little bit. um, let's see, where was I? Okay. Uh, what are the chances of being able to buy a truck now? I mean, you can buy a truck now. There are a ton of used trucks because a lot of carriers are selling off their used equipment, either because they're shutting down or because they're accepting delivery of new equipment that was delayed. So you can buy a truck now, yeah. Selling a truck is more difficult. Dmitry, is 6% too much to pay for a dispatch service? OTR 53-foot reefer. I think it's, from what I have heard, again, I have always dispatched my own trucks, but from what I have heard, 5% is usually where dispatchers are currently. Although some charge 12% even in this market. I've heard that too, but I think the majority are around 5%. Dissident. I'm not much for government oversight, but something has to be done about broker transfer. You know what? I'm so with you. Someone said in the comments that I am such a bad person because I'm trying to, like, what did he say? He said that I should start a Marxist or Lenin or Stalin group, basically that I'm against free market. I'm not against free market. I'm very, very much for it. It's one of the best things about this, but the transparency, right? The FMCSA has a rule that brokers have to be transparent. But what brokers started doing is they started including in their contracts a clause that if you as a carrier want to work with that broker, you have to sign that contract and waive your right to see all those records. It's like a loophole. Salvador, thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Been learning a lot from you. Have you been thinking of becoming a broker? I looked into it a while ago and nothing came of it, you know. I mean, I wanted to close that loop. I wanted to close that loop to have a carrier side, a broker side, and kind of close that loop, but nothing came of it yet. And I don't think I would explore the idea of being a broker for a while, not with the market when it's like this. It's too much. Let's see, where was I? Oh, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm so late. Yikes, I'm moving so slow. I need to speed this up. I have a 2-year-old authority to trucks. Am I allowed to lease one truck to a company for 3 days and running myself? I swear around my other. Alex, hold on. Let me read this question again. Trucks. Alex, that is a good question. I am not sure. Maybe someone else can help. He says, I have a 2-year-old authority, 2 trucks. Am I allowed to lease 1 truck to a company for 3 days and run myself around the other 3 days? Do you guys know? That's something I'm not sure about. Can you get by on $2 per mile? It depends what your cost per mile is, Linwood. If your cost per mile is $2.90, then no. Some brokers refuse to give me a load because I have no DOT inspection and audit. Do I have to go to a weight station to ask for inspection? Mark, there are some brokers that require a DOT. Well, a DOT inspection, I think they're talking about a roadside inspection. Yeah, I think Molo Solutions is one of those brokers that requires, I believe, 3 roadside inspections before they work with you. In terms of audit, I mean, you have to wait for that year mark. Do I have to go to the weight station to ask for an inspection? We've never done it, but I'm sure you could. Yeah. What is TMS? What do you use it for? TMS as in the trucking management, transportation management software, or the website that I made, TMS Connection? Now I'm confused. A transportation management software helps you manage trucks and loads and everything like that. TMS Connection, the website I made, it's just a social networking website, but only for our industry. I think for drive-in, you need to be at 245 mile per minimum. No, I agree, 100%. World of Logistics. Do I know of any companies you can contact for a DOT number and LLC? That's all I need. Try Apex Capital. They're great. Elvin, I had a very nice conversation with a TQL agent that I think you should talk to. Look, with my original company, we built such a great reputation with TQL. I usually get higher rates from TQL than what is posted on the load board, just because of that reputation built over a period of 4 years. But the fact that they lowball is a fact. In terms of the TQL agent, I'll be honest with you, I have only once in the very beginning, did I have a TQL agent who was completely rude. Since then, I haven't. So for me, like a lot of people are against TQL, I feel that same way about Longship. But I'll support you guys. I'll support you. I know they're the queens of lowballing. TQL. Yep, TQL, it's a start. I agree. I'm going to try to avoid them too. What would be the first step into becoming an independent dispatcher? I would say you have to create an LLC. I do recommend that, and then start learning the freight market. If you have time before you actually have to dispatch, start learning the freight market. Go to freightwaves.com. They're incredible. They release so many news articles about the market, what's going on, etc. Joanne, say what? Our favorite dispatcher. Hi. Hi. Always, man. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You can email. So my dispatching course, if you go to truckingmadesuccessful.com, you will see that there is the dispatching course and it will have all the information there. Or you can email me, talkabouttrucking@gmail.com, and ask any question you want. I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll have to start moving a little bit faster here because I still have I have 30 minutes or so, but I see that I'm lagging quite behind. Let's see. Fuel will come down when campaigning starts. Yeah, I mean, fuel is on its way down slowly but surely. We'll see what happens in the next few months. My IG is Trucking Made Successful, at Trucking Made Successful. I just post what I post on YouTube in terms of the actual community posts. The general trucker, yes, we do need to refuse low paying rates. Most of the drivers wants to stay local. Being a new dispatcher, I'm facing this issue. How to overcome this issue, please? I mean, if they want to, are you not able to find local loads? Is that the issue? I wonder how the tanker market has been last 2 to 3 years and currently. That's a great question. I'm not familiar with tankers. Never worked with them. So I'm not 100% sure. Just like I'm not very familiar with intermodal, cargo, sprinter vans, box trucks, or hot shots. Yeah. Fourth quarter will be better for rates. Jason, from your computer to God's ears. They're taking too much. Yes, they are. Did anyone take the New York 44 cent per mile load? No, still here. At least that's good. At least people are smart enough to understand that $1,000 for 2,240 loaded miles, that's not even including the deadhead, is maybe a little too low. James Clark, when I worked for a broker, we get a lot of the loads direct from shippers and buyers and give it out to DAT if the dispatchers didn't have trucks when it needed to go. At your studio, yeah, it's like it has been an uphill battle for over a year. I think we're all exhausted at this point. I do understand that. We have brokers in other countries shouldn't be allowed. We have brokers in other countries. Yeah, that's true. Trucking 365. Oh, it's nice to see you here. Randa, the first version of the free TMS has been created, so you can sign up and use it absolutely free. I'm going to locate your email and I would love to sign up. Absolutely. I'm always here to support. Just like you guys support me. I really appreciate it, by the way. The trucking industry is trash. At the moment, yeah. Okay, I need to start moving a little quicker. Let's see, questions. Mark Atro, I responded to your question. I do know that some require a roadside inspection. Yeah. I know some Russian companies here in the USA have dispatch in Russia. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Power in the market. Still erase. Why am I not a broker? Why am I not a broker? Time constraints. I run 2 trucking companies and I'm not as familiar with the broker side. And on top of it, as a carrier, if I also put a brokerage under the same MC, my insurance is going to drop me. Yeah. It's Mitch Newton. It's so wonderful to see you here. I always love your comments. They're always so positive. Monday delivery. Yay! I hope you got an amazing rate per mile. Any courses for new dispatchers? I offer the dispatching course, which teaches you how to become a dispatcher, how to negotiate, albeit in this market, it's hard to negotiate. It's still possible in certain market areas, but yeah. William, from your computer to God's ears. Hopefully it gets better very, very soon. Brandon, ridiculous. Market? Yes, it is ridiculous. Cheaper insurance stay. That's a great question. I am not 100% sure, but definitely just stay away from California. California is the most expensive in every regard. Our Lacey 3 rates for box trucks, from what I saw, they're around $1 a mile. Hi, Farden. Can you translate, please? I didn't understand. Still, Erase TMS is a transportation management system. As a trucking company, do we sign a contract with Motive? Yeah, you do sign. Yeah, you do sign a contract with Motive. The $460 was probably the annual subscription. You can either pay monthly or annually. But the fact that they did it without your authorization, that's not good. Did you sign a DocuSign? They usually send a DocuSign first. KG, you cherry picking comments. I'm not cherry picking anything. Sometimes the comments just don't show up. As I was scrolling up, I saw that there are a lot of comments I did not answer because they didn't show up. I'm trying to answer as many comments in order as possible. I think all brokers should live in the USA. Hi, Miranda, love your channel. I noticed you said only 4 states require permits, many more in my binder for alcohol. Yeah, okay, so state of Connecticut. I'm just gonna. I also received this. Now the state of Connecticut, you need a highway use registration, whatever. I saw that too. It's a new thing, new requirement. Legend, but you're here. You didn't miss my live. Welcome. DJ Harris, I'm a frat boy, but I'm trucking. Yay! Hey, I didn't say that frat boys are bad. I said that Longship kind of hires the worst of the worst in terms of frat. I mean, they're just, there's professional people and then there's not professional people. They act like they are not professional in Longship. AJ, they do not. No, the government does not put a cap on brokers. Box truck rates, I saw that they're about $1 per mile. Am I familiar with Just Trucking channel on YouTube? I am not. I will look them up. Let me just write it down. What is it? Just. Thank you. How do I find a frac broker? What do you mean? What is a frac broker? Mountain Logistics is another rude group of brokers. I have not worked with them. There was a broker called something Fair Freight. No, there was some broker. I forgot what their name was. Basically, their name contradicted completely to how they were behaving. Tequila is my go-to place. Love cheap freight. Me too. How can you put a block on an MC number if they don't pay you? If they don't pay you, you have to file against their bond and then just put them in your little blacklist like I do. Don't miss the pre-cell phone days. Face to face. Dola, how much should dispatch services be charging? Yeah, I've been getting this question a bit. From what I know, 5% is where a lot of dispatchers are currently because of the market. But it also depends on what kind of services you provide, right? If you provide also back office services or some compliance services, you can charge for that as well. Tourist trucking. I'm so glad. That's the goal of this channel, is just to provide as much knowledge as possible. And I learn from you guys a ton. I can't even explain how much I have learned from you guys. You're going to be helping your husband with back end of the business, tips, recommendations. Get a good organization system. It's a lot of paperwork. I recommend Dropbox. Organization is half the battle to success. Um, oh, wonderful. Hello just came out from Utah to Jurupa Valley, California. 700 miles, $800. Jeez Louise. Oh, no comment. C.H. Robinson Lowe. Yep. I booked a load from Dallas, Texas to Salt Lake City, Utah. 5650, but until Ida, I think Ida. So what I would do, did you call their accounting team? Because what you need to do, what I do is I leave a voice message and send an email that I'm filing on their bond. Within about an hour, I get a call back. Because as soon as you file against their bond, their credit score suffers. Your rates are pretty low. What do you mean? I'm not a broker. I don't give rates. You mean what I book? If so, yeah. I mean, last month was a disaster. This month is also tough. I do not say that I book the highest rates. I panic. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Absolutely. I'm always trying to grab the best rate on the load board. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Making up to 40% of load cost. Sometimes 100. Legend, yeah, that is a horrible rate. How are the companies that are running very low rates staying in business? Well, it depends on what their cost per mile is, right? If they have very low insurance, if they have good fuel discounts, if all their trucks are paid off, none of them are on lease, that's different than if you have trucks that you're paying for and your insurance is high and the fuel discounts are low and and the maintenance is high. How to go after scammers? You know what? I was scammed once. I reported them to the FBI. Nothing came out of it. What ended up happening was I called the shipper. The shipper told me that they cannot pay for that load. It was a scammed load. So I called the receiver. The receiver explained that they co-broker with a carrier. I called that carrier. He told me that he brokered it to another carrier who's a California carrier. And basically that first carrier is the one that paid me. Did they pay me the full amount? No. This shall pass. You missed my motive question. Did I not answer it? The motive question? Were you the one who asked about the $460? Can you send it to me again? Again, I'm trying to get through all the comments. Sometimes it skips. Sometimes comments show up after I already went through them. Yeah, the system is far from perfect, unfortunately. Salvador Hot Shots is something I'm not very familiar with, unfortunately. Am I going to Matt's? I am not. I'm not. I don't have time. I cannot step away from the office. If I step away, everything crumbles. Joe, Uber, if you let the load sit on the board, you will see the rate go up every hour until pickup. You know what? I have seen that, and I have also seen them post a load, and then about 10 minutes later, they post the same load for less, for like $500, $600 less. It's crazy. It's like they post the load early in the morning, then look at the market, see that, oh, no one is paying that much, and then they just start lowballing. TAFS factoring. I have never factored with them. I keep getting calls from them. I am not familiar, unfortunately. Okay. Louise, thank you. Okay, I am going to Fat Mike, Arletson Trucking Co. LLC. Yeah, this is the broker I had an amazing experience with. I personally had an amazing experience with him. What's the fair cost per mile I can, or cents per mile I can pay a driver in this freight rate chaos? I mean, it depends on what your expenses are in general. Yeah, it will vary. I've seen companies start paying 50 cents per mile. I've seen companies that pay over 70 cents per mile. So, Brett, thank you and hello. Um, few tips for a new owner operator. Do you have your own MC or are you just starting in this industry? In either case, I recommend try to learn. Get on. I recommend to anyone who's new in this industry, first of all, have a good safety cushion because the market is testy at the moment. Number two, get on FreightWaves and start reading. Those articles, they're going to be really, really helpful. I try to put out market data. It's important to know the market. In this industry, it's very important to know the market. I try to put it out, but sometimes there's more data coming out. I can't make videos every day, so get on FreightWaves. It's a great, 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 great website. Mohammed, thank you. I'm 100. Busam, larger carriers are pushing legislation to pull small owner operators out. Yeah, James Clark is the only one who actually worked in trucking. This was from owners, including salesmen and dispatchers. There is one brokerage. I forgot what it's called. I forgot what their name is. They started, all of the people who started the brokerage, they were all owner operators before they started. And that's kind of their, I forgot what it's called. If I remember, I'll post it in a video. Cisco Guru. My God, I'm so late. Thank you. Mohammed, I look like a teenager. Thank you so much. That is the best compliment ever. I'm pretty young. I mean, relatively, but sometimes I feel like I'm so damn old. I think I have an old soul. Don't book anything for TQL until they learn to offer the better rates. Yeah. I love my Airtable. Yeah, isn't that great? Airtable is amazing. Let's see, I'm getting so many emails. Do you think getting brokerage authority worth? I think brokers are also in a, I mean, they're in a not the best situation because there are too many brokers currently. So if you think brokers are not struggling just because they're taking so much off of the top of each load, that's not necessarily true. Brokers make most of their money from volume. And volume is not there, and whatever is there is being, they have competition, more competition for that volume. So they're taking so much off the top of each load because they don't have the volume. But what they're doing is driving carriers out of business, if that makes sense. So brokerage, it's not a broker's time right now. They're not making a killing. It's a pretty, the market is pretty annoying right now for everyone, I feel like. Can I run local Amazon loads for you on the weekends? I have a truck. For us, well, we don't, again, we don't, I get this question a lot. We do not lease on because of the AB5 law. I cannot work with independent contractors because I'm based in California, unfortunately. How do I get paid from scammers or report them? I reported the guy to the FBI. And in terms of payment, as I said before, I called the receiver, I called the shipper, then I called the receiver, found out that it was co-brokered with another carrier, and I called that carrier, and it was a whole thing. Whenever you get scammed, the first thing you want to do is look at the bill of lading and call the shipper and the receiver. William, can you do a scenario with the shipper, broker, and dispatcher? What do you mean? I didn't fully understand. William, how can I see a load board? If you go to dat.com, you can do a free trial there. Rates went up Saturday for produce. Yay! That's amazing. It's good that they're starting to go up. Fact, psych. I can always get outbound loads. Yeah, there are markets like that where it's easy to get a load out, but to return to that market is really difficult. California used to be like that. Getting a load out of California, you would get paid an insane amount of money, but getting back to California was near impossible. How often do you have to cancel a load? I may have to, and I'm nervous. I don't cancel loads often. It's very rare, only if the truck breaks down or something happens, the reefer breaks down. In terms of being nervous, don't be nervous. Just keep them informed. Yeah. The fact that Longship had such a reaction to me canceling a load when they had a slew, it was from Florida. They had a slew of other carriers to choose from. And what they did, this is something that happens close to never. This is the first time something like this happened to me after I had to cancel a load for a good reason. So don't be nervous. Don Pina, I have not I have not had experience with local day cab runs. General advice going from lease purchase to owning your own authority. Safety cushion. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. You need to have a very, very good safety cushion just in case. Yeah. And remember that brokers are late. So a good factoring company, is also a good idea. And organization. Organization is important because once you go on your own, there's so much paperwork you have to deal with, or have a family member or a friend do the back office. Organization is key. Would you be okay if your company shut its doors? No. My two companies are my children, apart from my other children. They're my two babies. This is something if I can avoid it, I will avoid it. I'll protect them with everything I've got. Trucking chooses us, absolutely. Amandeep, yeah, they're asking for the roadside inspections. I think you can go to a wait station and ask for them to do it. Yeah, sometimes when you get pulled into scales, they will do it automatically. Yep, exactly. Transport King answered that question. Greg waste some of their time. Is it a good idea to apply for DOT-MC before buying a truck? So Corey, you can apply for MC and DOT without a truck. The only thing is to activate your MC number, you will need a truck because you need insurance. And in order to get insurance, you need a truck and a CDL. It doesn't have to be your CDL. It can be the CDL of the person you're hiring. I have about 5 minutes, you guys. Oh my God, just skipped like crazy. Oh, jeez. I am so sorry. I'm in a little bit of shock right now because I see that there's so many comments that I'm going super slow. Yikes. I apologize. Ooh, let's see. Let me try to answer as much as I can in the 4 minutes that I have. What's the worst area for 53-foot van drivers? The West Coast, by far. West Coast is a bad area. Basically, where both of my dry vans are, don't go there. And I can. Do you recommend to rent a trailer as 10-month-old MC? I mean, your MC is not, it's not a question of MC. It just depends. We rent our trailers for one of our trucks just because it gives us the flexibility, right? One of our trucks is with a rented trailer, currently a dry van. We might switch back to a flatbed. Aaron, so your driving record is something that brokers won't see. Brokers don't look at the driving record for the most part. They look at the company record, right? So when you start your company, they will look at the CSA score. They don't ask most. There are some brokers that will ask for your driver's license, but most don't. SOB Enterprises, I see. Yeah, this double brokering issue that's happening it's horrible. It's horrible. And it's a sign of, I mean, the scamming that carriers are doing is a sign of the times. Not that I'm protecting them because we fell victim to that scam. Can't you report the brokers with no document clause in their contract to the FMCSA? You would be reporting pretty much every broker then. They pretty much all have that. Yeah, they're smart. A shot. I have never, I mean, I have never purposely worked with a direct shipper. So I think it's the same thing as with a broker. I have worked with direct shippers accidentally by finding them on the load board though. And the negotiation process is the same as with a broker. But they're very nice and they actually negotiate even in this market. All right, guys, I am so sorry. I will not be able to get through all of these comments. I apologize. But again, I do these lives every other Sunday. So not next Sunday, but the Sunday after, I'll do another one. And whatever I didn't answer here, I'll try to write it down so I can answer in the next live. Let me see. Let me get a little bit down. Let me see. Let me pick some more. I have 1 minute. I have to keep, I'll pick 3 more questions. Something that I haven't answered yet. What percentage do you think a broker keeps out of a load right now? Look, from what I see, like if there's a load for $9,000 from El Paso to, I believe it was Portland, and then it's posted for, like those kinds of loads are posted for 5,000, well, that's $4,000 in the broker's pocket. They keep a lot. Yeah, because they don't have the volume. So they're trying to make up that money from that one load. The problem is that they're driving carriers out of business too. Let's see. Okay, 2 more questions. Does your husband drive? No, my husband is in a completely different industry. Completely different. We do not work together. Okay, what else? One more question. Well, actually, 2 more questions. That was more of a personal one. So let me find 2 more questions that are related to the industry. A lot of comments. What load board do I use? I use the DAT load board. DAT Power is my main load board. Rita, you're looking great. I adore you. Rita and I work together. I adore her. Oh, my system is slow today. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm reading way too long. Let me find one last question. Okay. Where are all the questions now? There are a lot of comments. Mm, I can't find a question now. Guys, someone ask me one more question so I don't go back on my word. Um, how to be sure my dispatcher is giving me the full rate he gets from the broker. So you can ask, well, if you're the carrier, what should be happening is ask the broker to send the rate confirmation to you directly as well as the dispatcher CC'd. There's your answer. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. And I apologize for not being able to answer all comments. I know I was going super slow today. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm tired. But I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. But I will be doing another live 2 Sundays from now. So not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. My God. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video and have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Bye.